study why they were so involved in this and isolated. And this is people from Falcon State and another state, which is in the central occidental region. Caquetíos, Ayamanis, and Hirara tribes that live in that area. And they were declared illegal for doing their job in the 50s. And then and if you can see the town, is what the houses are made of clay, and the fiber that they were putting in the clay is coming from agave. Next.
Can I ask you a
So.
question? In another group at MIT, which is concerned with third world agriculture, the statement was made, we tried to get them to plant them, I think, not sure where it was, something that was more protein rich than agave, but they wouldn't do it. And this was considered to be unfortunate. And now I'm hearing that there's ceremonial importance to agave.
And the combination. The thing is that these people, when there, they impose what they thought was better for them. That doesn't work. Because you have people there living for 1,000 years. Then you go there, and I am the one, the genius. I tell you that this is better. They are there. I don't know if you were here when I was saying that there are people that are 115 years old in that town. And so it's like, I'm going to tell them, I know better, no way, So this is amazing. And the problem is that there are many trees. Humans were first, when we evolved as humans, gatherers. Then we became hunters, as the human evolution, you remember. Gathering fruits, gathering nuts, everywhere. This is how human evolved. And then all of a sudden, we now decided not to be gatherers anymore. We just want everything in one place because of the big cities and all of that. And that has brought a lot of social problems. I mean, in our countries, I think the big problem is everybody's concentrated in Caracas. We want to produce, ideas, new ideas, so that people will love to go elsewhere. And this is the problem. When I went there and I asked them, what do they eat? I tell you, they eat agave also. I will show you how they eat agave. But also they eat prosopis, and they made flowers of another tree that is called take, which is like a nut. And when of course, I am an ecophysiologist. I study what plants have in the nutrients. I was surprised. I think, a prosopis flower is 25% protein, 19 of the essential amino acids are there. So no, we want to plant soya. We want to plant soy. You see? It is. I think nowadays, I'm not seen as a crazy, poet of ecology, but I've shown people that you can do. And now everything is being, even something that we discovered many years ago is being patented by the oil refinery in Venezuela oil company, which was another tree that we discovered working with historians that Venezuela exported in the 17th and 18th century a lot of these pots for leather culture and for the seals of the colonial times were not with ink. They came from this plant. And so oil came. We forgot all about that. But there are the testimony of people like her that we are taking every day. We learn. Every time we go to these communities, we are learning more and more. Another project that I have is that I decided if the islands are going to disappear, the biological reserve is there, 1,600 hectares of forest, of dry forest, protected not by the government, but by the community. The community is defending their land, and they want now to be called a monument, natural monument. For 30 years now, we have worked there. Why? Because we don't know yet all of these species that they were using. We were surprised. They were eating something that we would never believe. It's looks like a pineapple and it has no fruits. Well, no, we eat the center. So we eat the center. So these agaves is spread all over Venezuela in the drylands. And I didn't know. Being a biologist, that was very shameful. I was working with aloe. So we discovered, even in the Amazon Indians, even in Bolivar State, they told me, I will not tell you, I wanted to have some samples to do DNA, of course to do phylogeny, this is another kind of field, and they say, we're not taking you there. I'm only going to get a little piece. No, this is a sacred plant. We're not taking you there. That was a big surprise for me. And this is in, the tribes that are more conserved, their patrimony. Because in Venezuela, all the conquest started in the north, and everything was wiped out. Very little things were left. But in the south, there are more. The Pemon Indian, the Wayap Indian, all of this. So, next. And you can find it, I just put all of these slices there because I want you to notice something. Is it in the open all the time? No. Of course, if you are in a road, and you see that first picture here, the second one in the left-hand side, you think, this is a plant that is growing always in very, very harsh soils in the open and all of that. Well, you look at the forest, no. Inside the forest are so many. So, the first plantations we did was crazy. Like Green Revolution, lines of agave, everybody was happy. But agaves were not happy, very, very unhappy. So I studied the photosynthesis ratios of all of these, and I found that with maybe 50% less sunlight, they were better off. But that's why also I don't like percentage. Because percentage of what? Of course, if you will do 50% light out there, it's very low. But if you think of the tropics, that we have 2,500 micromoles per meter square per second, then when you do less, 50%, you'll have 1,200, and the photosynthesis is saturating with that. So less water is needed. They lose less water, and they also produce more. Next one. But the even more surprising thing is that if you look at that, the roof of their houses is made of this spike, of the spike that this plant is producing, and the shorter ones are from cactus. The goats are eating what they select from the process. Then the hammocks there is made from the fiber of the same plant. And the shoes and everything. So for that town, agave is all. And these windows also shield the blocks for the houses. Is amazing. So for them, there is a legend for this town which is beautiful. It's called, it says that the Indio Manaure, Cacique, the chief Manaure, gave this land to Indio Sunure, which is the Indian chief in Pecaya, because it had all. It had penca, which is the agave, and it had bore, because it had a small river. So even the foundational story is beautiful. The next one. So, but agave to us represents also a story of mistakes and errors and terrible to the people. We should reivindicate that. And I will tell you why. In the 50s, the rum factories, now rum, Venezuelan rum now is huge. In the 50s, the rum was started to grow, the rum industry. So they decided to change a law. And then in the law, of course, this agave drink was a big competition because of tequila and mezcal. So rum decided to set aside the Cocuy people, because they were making this drink, and then they put in the law that you cannot sell or drink Cocuy, which is the drink, without being aged in French oak barrels. That was the law. French oak barrels. So who will have money for that? No one. So they were like, remove all of the Cocuy factories, little factories. And then but they also protected themselves, saying that, but Cocuy, which is the drink, was supposed to be a mix of sugarcane liquor and a little bit of liquor from agave, which is still, because agave is an endemic species and sugarcane was introduced in Venezuela 200 years ago. So it took us to demonstrate all of that. So this, believe it or not, religious art, which is in the museum there, dated in 1523, was one evidence that I would never think of it as an evidence. But what do you see there? You see the artist that had to paint the whatever Santa Rosalia Virgin was, but he actually captured, behind that, you can see that there is the Cerro La Orqueta, which is Pecaya, very simple for that town. But also you see these windows.